Accreditation Readiness Exchange, where we bring together healthcare leaders, industry experts, and innovative thinkers to discuss the topics shaping healthcare today. Each episode is designed to provide practical insights, meaningful conversations, and real-world solutions that help healthcare organizations not only strengthen operations, improve quality, navigate compliance, but also prepare for what's ahead. I'm your host, Tammy McDonald with McDonald & Associates, LLC, and today we're discussing one of the biggest changes affecting Georgia's structured family caregiver providers, the new NCQA accreditation requirement. Joining me today is Keysa Shaw-Sanders, founder and principal consultant of Accreditation Assistant, LLC. Keysa is a registered nurse, certified case manager, current NCQA surveyor, and has been an accreditation consultant with more than 13 years of accreditation and healthcare quality experience. Throughout Keysa's career, she has partnered with healthcare organizations across the U.S., supporting multiple accreditation engagements while maintaining a 100% client accreditation success rate, which is amazing, an amazing track record. Her experience spans case management with long-term services and supports, which we'll be talking about today, population health, credentialing, utilization, and quality improvement. Keysa, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Tammy. I'm so excited to be here.
Great, so let's jump right in. So Georgia's recent announcement has generated a lot of questions, and understandably so. For many organizations, this will be their very first experience with NCQA accreditation. Today, I'm hoping we can simplify what these new requirements mean, explain why they matter, and share practical tips or steps that organizations can begin taking today. So let's start with the question everyone's asking, Keysa. What's changed?
Sure. So the Georgia Department of Community Health recently announced that structured family caregiving providers will be required to obtain NCQA case management long-term services and supports accreditation. So this means that existing providers must submit proof of accreditation by September 1st of 2027, while new providers and, let's say, organizations who are pursuing expansion or ownership changes will have accreditation requirements that are tied to enrollment and participation.
Wow. So why is this, maybe you can help us understand, why is this announcement such a significant change for these providers?
Well, it's a change because many of these organizations, they've never pursued accreditation before. And so we know that they are providing quality care every day, but accreditation really requires organizations to demonstrate that quality through consistent documentation, standardized processes, quality oversight, staff education, and performance improvement. So the challenge isn't necessarily changing everything that you're doing, but it's demonstrating that they are doing it consistently.
Yeah, so, as also an NCQA surveyor, I really see that a lot where organizations are doing the job they've contracted for or agreed to do, but really putting those policies and procedures, structures in place to make sure that they're doing the same thing each and every time is really a heavy lift. So that I can see why this is such a significant change for these providers. So really, what questions are you hearing most from providers about this?
Well, the biggest question is always, well, where do we start? How do we get started, with the process? They also want to know things like, how long does this take, or what exactly will they be looking for? What documentation is required? When should they start? Should we begin now? My answer to these questions is always the same, regardless of the organization, and that is start early. Because Preparation creates options, while waiting really creates unnecessary pressure.
Yeah, I really love that. Preparation creates options while waiting creates unnecessary pressure. That is so absolutely true. But I think, working with organizations that have, an NCQA requirement or compliance or regulatory requirement, they really think, okay, we need to put paperwork together and submit paperwork. So is that really true, a true understanding of an NCQA survey? Is it just about submitting paperwork to NCQA, having them review it and earn accreditation? Is that what accreditation looks like?
Not at all. I would have to disagree. Surveyors are really looking for evidence that organizations not only have processes, but that they consistently follow those processes. So things such as assessments, care plans, follow-up activities, quality monitoring, reporting, even staff training and organizational oversight, all of those things will be reviewed. So in a nutshell, policies, they actually tell the story, but documentation proves the story.
Yeah. So I think the first step, and we'll get your feedback on what you feel like is the next step that organizations will take. But one of the first steps is really evaluating what an organization has in place to determine what are the gaps, what do they need to work on, what are the timeframes, how quickly can they get started or build new processes or improve processes. So when organizations or these Georgia providers are evaluating their current readiness to undergo an NCQA survey, what are some of the most common readiness gaps that they're finding?
So we frequently see outdated policies, maybe even policies that have some processes present, but not all, even an absence of policies altogether. Some other things are inconsistent documentation, limited quality monitoring. Some may lack file review processes. And overall, there's just some staff uncertainty about accreditation expectations. With all this being said, the encouraging part, though, is that most organizations, they have a lot of building blocks in place already, but they simply need to organize, strengthen, and align them with the NCQA standards.
So, Keysa, thinking about your statement that you made a minute ago where you said preparation creates options, I'm sure you would advise these organizations to get started preparing today, tomorrow, as soon as possible. So for those providers listening who, are ready to move forward and take that first step to conduct a readiness review or just really get started on planning and preparation, maybe give us the first 3 things that you would advise them to do to get started.
So first, I would say identify someone internally within the organization to lead the accreditation efforts. You would have a point person. Second, I would say gather what you have, whether it's your policies, procedures, your training materials, any assessments or care plans, any type of quality reporting that you may have. And then third, lastly, I would say complete a readiness assessment. Make sure that you have an understanding of where your organization stands today. That is the first step towards developing a successful accreditation strategy.
Great, absolutely. Completely agree with those first 3 steps. So for those in the audience that are new to NCQA, I understand that you are offering, or your organization, Accreditation Assistant, is offering some educational webinars about the standards, the process, file review. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So, our mission has always been education first. It's very important that organizations have a clear understanding of the accreditation process. As we've discussed, there's so much involved. So, yes, we will be hosting a three-part series of educational webinars. It will be covering Georgia's new requirements. And we will talk about things such as the overview of the NCQA standards, documentation expectations, readiness strategies, common survey findings, and then some practical tools that organizations can implement immediately. And every webinar series will conclude with a live question and answer session so that participants can really ask those important questions that may be specific to their organization.
Great. Sounds like a great opportunity to learn about the survey process and really get started in educating ourselves around the NCQA expectations and standards. So as we close out, Keysa, and I've really appreciated this conversation, any final thoughts you can leave with the listeners?
Yes, I would have to say, don't let accreditation intimidate you. Just think of this as an opportunity to strengthen the systems that you're already using to provide quality care. Organizations that begin preparing now will definitely have more flexibility, less stress, and a smoother accreditation journey. If you'd like to learn more, I would encourage you to register for one of our upcoming webinars. And if your organization would benefit from individualized guidance, please reach out to Accreditation Assistant LLC. We'd be happy to discuss your organization's goals and help develop a roadmap towards a successful accreditation journey. You can also sign up on our website at www.accreditation.com, or you can email info@accreditation.com.
Wonderful. Sounds like a great opportunity. And thank you for offering that, Keysa. So again, thank you so much, Keysa, for sharing your expertise and helping us better understand this important change. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, Tammy. It was my pleasure.
Great. And thanks everyone for listening, and have a wonderful day.